it's a good tax, it's a good tax to pay for building dreams. So
Yeah. I always I start to understand like old dudes who like just can't retire. Like I understand.
oh
Like I
yeah,
don't know. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
you gotta put your hand. Welcome to Beyond the Pedal, where we dive into struggles, stories, and strengths behind cycling, endurance, and mental health. I'm your host, and with each episode, we sit down with athletes, advocates, and everyday riders who are pushing the limits on and off the bike. Without further ado, let's get into today's conversation.
That was kind of my first job out of college. My family owned excuse me, a big industrial scale bridge painting company.
Oh wow.
And after college, I didn't really like care what I did. And my dad was kind of in charge of the show. He was the foreman, and my uncle did all the bidding on the projects. And so I just went and worked with my dad for a year and a half, and that was awesome. I mean, like we would wake up in the morning, like I'd get to work at like 5, and then we'd load up the trucks. We had like big F550s and F650s, and we would haul like camper sized compressors like all over the state, like wherever the job was. And some days I kind of missed that life. Like it was hard work, but it was pretty like fulfilling. We'd get done at like 1 and we'd be back, and then me and him would go ride every day after work. That's he's the reason I got into bikes so heavy. I wasn't.
Oh wow.
I was a collegiate swimmer, and so like right after college, I just started riding bikes with him. Yeah.
Wow, dude, hell yeah! And then you eventually got into the bike business, the bike selling business.
Yeah. So my uncle, who was the owner of the company, my grandparents started the company.
Okay.
Laws change and regulations. You if you're a contractor, you're probably aware of it, but like the rules of what it is changes. So like we were doing a lot of sandblasting and clear coating, like bridge decks, like preventative maintenance, basically. So what happened is the technology advanced, and the concrete no longer needed to be sealed because it was just mixed into the formula. So the like formula of the material. Yeah. So there was still a lot of work to do, but like not like the writing was on the wall. Like it was changing. So my uncle decided that it was time to close it down. And the other factor in that was that my dad was going to retire. And so he was kind of out of his key man was my dad, right? They were brothers, but like without my dad running the show on the ground, like it was like, well, what are we going to do? And so I love telling this story because my dad fired me. And he was like, he still worked for like 2 or 3 more years after that.
Yeah.
But he was like, hey, this is dead. Like, this is a dead end. Like,
this
he told me,
yeah.
He's like, you gotta get out of it. They made it. Like, the company was around for 50 years. It was the end of the company. And so he was like, this isn't a job for you anymore. Like, you need to go do something else to like progress your life. And because I was fresh out of college doing that. So like, yeah, I could have worked with him for a few more years, but then I would have just had to start over again. So
yeah, so
I ended up working. Sorry, you can go ahead. I was gonna say I ended up working at just like a local bike shop in Bloomington, where I grew up in Bloomington, Indiana, like where IU is, and that's how I kind of got started. I was just like a fresh off the street like mechanic for and then it's been a while. I guess I've been doing this for not quite 10 years, but this is my 9th year of like working in bike shops. I became an owner very fast. That's not normal. Yeah. But big shout out. Do you know Mike Larson? Do you do cyclocross?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
I didn't mean to. So you became an owner fairly quick. Like when you so you got out of the business, you graduated, and then you got into the bike shop. And then how soon from then you started that job to when you became an owner?
Yeah. So, COVID, it was around COVID. It was during COVID, actually, I became an owner of this business. So,
Oh wow.
it was, 3 or 4 years of working as like a bike shop, just an employee, like just whatever. And that was the problem. So I've never changed. I've always been kind of, I used this term earlier, but like I was the key sales guy there. And every bike shop kind of has that. Like every bike shop has like the guy that's like selling the
Yeah.
bikes. And um, I was going to give a shout out to Mike Larson. Some of the viewers might know him because he's incredible cyclocross. He's the current Baby Masters US champ. I was
Oh
working with
wow.
him and he taught me everything I knew about like working on bikes. And so just super thankful to him.
That's huge.
Me and the owner got into a dispute. I was making like $13 an hour, which is fine if you're a college kid, but I wasn't. And I had just gotten married to Chase. And, you know, it was like, hey, is this a long-term option or not? And the answer was no, it was not a long-term option. And we had a fallout. This was during COVID too. So let me be clear. I would have made $600 a week doing nothing. And I was making $13 an hour working a full-time job because COVID, I was an essential employee during that time. So like I was working full-time, which is a good thing, but like whenever you're weighing that, it's like, well, I could have just not worked and made triple, or I don't even know how much more, a lot more.
Yeah.
And so basically, we parted ways. It wasn't the smoothest thing ever, but it was time. And I'm still thankful for that time. Like I definitely got my start there, but and I just kind of got a random bike shop job in another. For people who know this area, I ended up working at a shop in Brown County, which is
Oh
there's
yeah.
Bloomington. Yeah, there's Bloomington, Brown County, and Columbus. So like both Bloomington and Columbus sandwich Brown County, and we're both like 20 minutes away. So like I could drive to the mountain bike trails that are the famous trails, 20 minutes, and I'm there.
Yeah.
So I ended up just working in a shop in downtown Nashville, and got a phone call from the guy who owned this store. His name was Matt Batten, another legend in the area. He's a lot older than us, but some of the older guys might remember Batten from back in the day racing. He was the fastest mountain bike racer of his era, for sure,
Yeah.
by a lot.
East of the Mississippi.
Yeah. This dude he's still incredible. He doesn't race anymore, but like, oh my God, yeah, he's a
Yeah.
legend. And he owned the store for like 22 years.
Dang.
And he just called one day and he was like, hey, I didn't know that you were available to like work, like be like, he didn't think I was like willing to move. And so he was like, hey, me and my wife are thinking about selling the store. Would you want to come work for us? And then in his mind, he was like, he was ready to sell the business, but he wanted to sell it to a couple. So he didn't want to sell it to like Trek. And I don't know if Trek would have bought it at the time, maybe because they were buying up a bunch of stores during that time period, but
Mhm.
he didn't want to do that. So what he did is he called me and he was like, hey, I'll give you a job. It was a much better job. I was like a salaried employee with like a decent income at that point.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, if you guys want to buy it, like we can try to figure that out. And I hit up like I said, I was a collegiate swimmer, and one of my buddies, my best friend's dad, is a professor over at the Kelly School of Business. And he's fairly wealthy guy. And
Right.
I just I told him about it. I was like, hey, like I got this offer. Like, would you want to do this? And he said, yeah. And so then it happened pretty quick. I was only an employee here for, I don't even know if it was a full year. It might have just been like 6 months before we started really like transitioning. And August of like 2020, I became the owner with my wife and my business partner, Dave.
Wow.
Yeah. And back
Dude,
then it
that's
was a
nuts.
normal bike shop. It is not the same business. It is what we bought was just a mom and pop bike shop like you're used to. It was a small town bike shop. We sold Trek. We sold like 100 something commuter bikes a year, a lot of entry level mountain bikes, just totally normal. It's not like that anymore, but
Yeah.
that's kind of the background of how I got into this position.
Dude, well, that's incredible, man. Yeah, I mean, it seems, I mean, I've talked to you a little bit about just the e-com business blowing up and people buying bikes and different, like components to build and all that stuff. And, because I mean, from my perspective, just being around a lot of people that are in the industry or know bike shops, some of them were telling me that the retail is suffering, and maybe that may be so, like the in-person retail, but you're saying on your end, the e-com has been blowing up. So
It is everything for us. I I sympathize with those bike shops, like, and they're correct. If we did not pivot to what we are doing today, this bike shop would not exist.
oh
Period.
yeah.
No way. Yeah. What we've done is unique. I think that's fair to say, but like we are effectively a e-com store. We have a brick and mortar store. I'm sitting in it right now. People do walk in, not enough to keep the lights on though.
Right.
And I feel for those bike shops because it is real. And if you can support your local bike shop, like some of them are gonna continue to chug along. Some of them might. I, I think what's gonna happen is you're gonna see bike shops just decide that it's time to move on. Like they could
Mm,
keep it going, like, but there's not like actual money being made. And
right.
that's the tough spot. Yeah. Like, yes, they can keep the doors open, but like they're not actually like making a living doing that.
Right.
And I wouldn't be either, but the where we have succeeded is like my ultimate goal with what we do is I want to provide the local bike shop feeling, but just digitally. I
Yeah.
talk to at least 10 people a day about like, hey, what tires do you think I should run for this event? And like, even if they don't buy them from me, I always answer everyone's questions because like it's the same thing. If somebody walked in the doors, I'd talk to them. And so I
Yeah.
just try to like translate that into like a social media context. And what I would say is that like the customers are already there. Like the customers are already wanting that experience. And I think that there is opportunity for other people to like kind of I'm actually surprised no one's really stepped up to challenge me in the space yet. That
Mm,
is something I've not understood. Because I think there's still room for it. Like
yeah.
another bike shop in like wherever could like it, my culture is different than their culture, right? Like I do like a pretty specific thing. There's room for all of it, and there's room for other people too. So I'm going to be curious about like what happens in the next 5 years, because I do think that there might be some other people popping up in the short term. I don't know them, but I kind of hope so, because if not, then yeah, there's going to be some serious problems for like local shops.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, it's super cool what you're doing. I mean, I even feel the kind of the vibe of your side and kind of how you guys run the shop there, and obviously see you out riding all the time on Instagram. You just completed a huge ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a 400 some mile ride.
When does this video come out, you think?
I think maybe December or January we can kind of, yeah.
Whatever works for you. But the reason I asked is because so I did it's a new I really like I like big events, but I really like small events. Like I like going to your like bumpkin gravel race that like barely has like anything like figured out with social media. It's
Yeah.
like in a random town that no one's heard of and no one's heard of this
Mhm.
event. Like there's a million of these things. And
Yeah.
this one caught my attention. It was called the Mountaineering Monster. It was in Morgantown, West Virginia, or close to it. And there's there was a 100-mile option,
Yeah.
but I went for the ultra option, the 465 miles.
Oh my.
It was 55,000 feet of climbing, and it took me 80 hours to complete it, which is like 3 days and 3 hours or something like that,
Yeah.
roughly. And
Oh my gosh.
I filmed the whole thing. So this is coming out after that will come out. There's a 4-part series on my channel right now. It's like a whole movie, but like it's a full like
Yeah.
I tried to film something every 10 miles. So like you get to kind of do
Dang.
the whole ride with me in this video. It's the most ambitious thing I've ever tried to like produce.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty proud of it. And again, like I'll send it to you after this because there's like an embargo for some tires, so I can't post it until the 18th. But like I'm really really excited about how that turned out.
Dude, that's so sick, man.
I have a problem. So I for some reason these ultra distance things, I'm just decent at them. Like I'm
Yeah.
better at doing a 500-mile event than I am doing a 100-mile event.
Yeah.
And that's kind of hard to grapple with because it's such an endeavor. It's like I mean, financially and also just like legit, like mentally doing it. Like
Yeah.
it's so tough to be like, oh yeah, if I want to win a race, like it has to be like 500 miles long. Like that kind of is hard to. But that's kind of the direction I think you're going to see me go in is more of that kind of thing because
Yeah.
I got to explore. I told you before we started filming, like a lot of my motivation is just kind of to experience new places. Like
Yeah.
I got to go to all these cool, amazing little pockets of West Virginia that I'd never know about or go to otherwise. And that was kind of the point of the event. The government, the like visitors bureau, the CVV or something, over in that
Yeah.
the mountaineering county over there, like put some money behind this thing, and that was the whole goal, was to kind of get some people to come to the places out there, and I think they were successful. I'm excited to see if hopefully a lot more people go to the event next year. There was about 100 that came, so
Wow.
not too bad for the first year.
Yeah, that's excellent, dude. That's huge. I mean, I guess we'll see the video, but I wanted to hear your thoughts. I mean, so me and a couple friends kind of did something similar, but it wasn't an event. We just tried to, you've heard of the Howard Erie Trail, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So me and two of my friends, we tried to do it under 24 hours. And my training up to it was kind of like bonkers, and diet was kind of unstable, and my mom was having like health issues, and so there was just a lot happening going up to it. I ended up not completing it because I think I fell asleep at mile 283.
Okay.
But yeah, but dude, I was struggling. I mean, and I like mentally, like I was like tired, my body was shutting down, I got cold, and then like I just couldn't eat anymore. So I want to hear your thoughts on like how were you doing mentally, like how were you feeling physically during the whole thing? Because that's a huge effort.
My situation is interesting. So my body is usually not the problem.
Yeah.
Like I'm usually not having diet problems. And I think that's just like a gift. I don't know. Yeah, like I can eat food
That
while I
iron
ride.
gut.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. But like, and my legs felt great. Like that, the thing about it is like, I can do that, like power output. Like it's not really that taxing, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
200 to 250 watts. But you do have like my bike was like 33 pounds or whatever. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
little bit different, but like I can pretty much do that indefinitely, like forever.
Yeah.
The thing that I struggle with, and this actually was part of the video, the first day, the first 100 miles is miserable. I hate it because I just feel like it's a formality. It's like I can't, like, you're so far from the finish line, and it's completely meaningless for the race. It's meaningless for like what's actually going to happen, right? Like nothing is going to, like I just get super restless in those first 100 miles. So you start to like spin. There was one dude who was contesting me racing wise, and during these events you can kind of see where everyone's at usually, because there's those spot trackers. And I was following him I was following to see where anybody was, and I thought I was like way ahead, and I pulled up to the first gas station I was going to sit at or get food at. And I walk out of the gas station, and these three dudes roll up, and I was like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? And I just kind of asked them, like, you guys are doing the 275? And one of them was like, no, I'm doing the long one. And I was like, oh crap. His name was Tim. But like that completely changed my mind. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not winning this race. Like I have to like do something. Cause we were effectively tied. And the guys, all three of them invited me to go to a diner. And I was like, oh, maybe, like I might go. And then I snuck off, like they were getting ready to leave, and I pulled back into another store. I went to Dollar General, and I bought like 10 hours of food. And my plan was like, I was just like, I'm just gonna not stop. Like I'm just gonna go all the way,
Keep it going.
and leapfrog this guy while he's eating at this diner. And it worked. But so this guy's spot tracker wasn't really working, so I couldn't see where he was. So I went the next like 100 miles. I was just like looking behind me the whole time. I was like, oh, this dude's gonna pop up, like he's gonna show up somewhere. And I got to the final destination of the night, which was kind of a neutral house on the route. Like somebody had offered up their back porch for all the riders. And I just sent a message, and I was like, hey, Tim, are you going to be here tonight? There was a group chat for the event so we could all talk to each other. Great idea, by the way. That group chat was fun. And Tim had decided to do the short route.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know. And I spent the whole 100 miles in a complete like panic. And like I felt great riding, but like I was like just freaking out because I was like, oh my God, I need to just ride straight through the night to beat this guy.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that, but I was like, I'm going to have to ride through the night to beat this guy. And so I just completely stressed myself out to the point where I actually like I was at like mile 150 where I had basically, even though I was winning the race, I just quit. I was like, you know what? I'm not having fun anymore. This isn't fun. I'm going to stop and go to sleep. And I was like, if Tim beats me, I don't care anymore. And I was like, I can't keep going. I'm just stressed out. But then it was all for nothing. And I ended up winning the event by like I think it was like 2 days. But like nobody else was really like technically, yes, I won, but like nobody else was really racing me. So like you could take, like, I didn't really beat anybody. The other guys doing it were awesome, but they were definitely not like on the spectrum of like racers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, with like events like that, you sometimes get one or two, but you seem like you were kind of like the oddball out where you were just trying to crush and also have fun. I mean, but yeah, that's crazy, dude. Just like stressing the whole time, trying to see who's behind you, like, and
Yeah.
just like looking out.
Yeah.
Oh
And,
man,
and especially because like, so where I crumble is whenever I'm winning. If I'm
what
not
do
winning,
you? Okay.
go ahead and say what you're going to say.
No, I was just saying. So crumble in terms of what? Like, if you're winning, you're crumbling, or what?
My mental state. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because you're afraid someone's gonna come and got it.
Because I'm always
Gotcha.
afraid I'm going to like ruin it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
seriously, like I
yeah,
don't win a lot of races. And so like
yeah.
whenever I get the opportunity to like, oh wow, I might win this race, like yeah, that's where I start to really fall apart. And I'm so aware of it. Like I've known this for forever, but like yeah, like whenever I'm like winning the race is actually the worst, least fun amount of riding I've ever done in my life. Like
Right.
Ozark Doom 2 years ago is a good example. Like I was winning the race and I was gonna win the race. And I was probably an hour and a half. I think I won the race by 2 hours, but like while we were out there, it's like, okay, I'm an hour ahead. And I just had to keep pushing. I rode like 21 hours straight, and it
Damn.
was my first time riding through the night, and I hate riding at night. And I was
Yeah.
just
How
like,
was that? How was riding through the night?
I'm getting better at it. Let me say that I'm getting better at it, but like it's not my thing. Like I'm not naturally good at it. So yeah, so Andrew is gnarly. He is a awesome dude. Give him a follow if you haven't. But like he's like doing all this awesome like every weekend he's freaking like doing an overnighter or something. And he's just like all these guys I've learned from are like so gnarly. They're like, oh yeah, I don't sleep. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't sleep? They're like, yeah, why would I do that? They're like offended that I would even think that they would sleep. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the guy who did get second place at Mountaineering Monster, there was a scavenger hunt that was like extracurricular activity where if you went to 37 points of interest, you won like the scavenger hunt trophy. He was out there for like something just completely unhinged. What did it say? What did they give him? Oh my God, this guy. Okay, Tyler wrote, and this is so 4 days, 12 hours, 36 minutes, and he slept for 6 hours total. And I'm just like, what am I like? And that's like the kind of mentality these guys have. And I like don't stack up, you know, like I'm trying my best, but like I got 2 freaking hotels while I was out there, you know, it's like I'm not even comparable. Like I'm such a wimp in comparison, and like I kind of know it too. But like I know like I can ride faster than these guys, but I can't actually like perform the race faster than them. And maybe I will someday, but right now I'm still kind of learning.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was your first time, right? Doing that.
I've done the Ozark Doom. The first year was in 2022. Sorry, 2023.
Right.
And then he did a 200-mile version. And I looked at that and I was like, oh, that's for me. Like I can do that in one go without it being super long. Ended up doing it like straight. So I did 21 hours straight. And then this one was like kind of, oh, sorry. Ozark Doom this year had like horrible weather. And that was another learning lesson. The area out there had crazy flooding. So like by mile 40, I had already soaked myself like to my chest, like up to here, like
Oh
3 or
wow.
4 times. And it was 30 to 35 degrees was the temperature. And it was only going to get colder at night, like not that much colder, but it's dark, so it's cold. And I got to the neutral aid house. This was about halfway through the event. I was winning the race by an hour and a half. And I could not think of a way to safely finish the event. Like all I had to do to win this event was just finish it. But I had no dry clothing left, and I had nothing I could do about it. I stopped at a gas station and tried to put like plastic bags over my socks, like didn't work. And I ended up pulling out of the event there. Funny enough, the next 3 dudes also pulled out of the event, like while I was waiting for my parents to pick me up at the cabin. Everybody else was like, no, I can't do this anymore. I ended up picking those guys up too once I got back. And then this guy named Jack Peck, who puts on the Michigami and the Driftless Dagger events. He's out of Chicago. Stuck it out. He finished it in 26 hours, and he had the clothing to do it, is what I learned. And so I tried to I learned from that. And so now in the Mountaineering Monster, I was extremely thoughtful about my clothing choices and felt like I did a lot better with that.
Yeah. Heck yeah, dude. That's insane. I usually for at least last year this past year when I raced quite a bit, I've stuck to like 50 to 100 mile races. Next year I'm trying to prepare for Unbound, and then I want to do 150 at Gravel Worlds.
I've done that race before.
Yeah, is it super fun though? Because there's the MMR roads there that are pretty gnarly.
I like that event, man. It looks like it's a little bigger now. Like, so whenever I did it, it was that might have been 2019. I was still working at my other job. Yeah, it was a long time ago. And nowadays it's like a ginormous event. It was a huge event back then too, but the roads are crazy. That race is like an ocean of gravel, is kind of the way I describe it. Like it's just endless, and it's a little intimidating to be out there. And it's so cool. There's towns out there that have no paved roads, but it's just like a town like you would it looks like a normal town, but there's no pavement. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
The thing about that event is, like, yes, there's some MMR roads like that, but it's definitely a traditional gravel race. Like, it's not like, I would say aerodynamics is going to trump anything else there. And that's not really my style nowadays. But quality event for sure. Like I definitely would say anybody who's interested in that event to check it out. Awesome dudes over there.
Yeah. I just went for the first time this past year, and I did the 75-mile route, and there was some MMR we did, and that was more of like the hype guy with my good friend Dom with Gravel's Friday. When I was out in Colorado, I hooked up with him, and he was talking about it. And then I had a brand, Gooch Goo, shout out to Gooch Goo from Australia. They paid my entry fee to go, so that was huge. And they were like one of the key sponsors there at the AIDS. And I will say, like this year, it was huge because it was a part of the Gravel Earth series. I looked at the calendar for Gravel Earth, and it's not a part of the Gravel Earth series. And I'm not saying it will be lesser than, but I think you'll see just kind of more of the people that, like me and you, just want to go out and do. There was helicopters, there was the whole bit, the ATVs. Like I was at the aid station.
The whole thing, yeah. Like Trey was racing it, I was watching it live, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was at the aid, and then because obviously they connect, but like I think we're at like mile 58 or something, 56, and then they're coming through. Keegan Swenson, all of them are ripping, and they're just telling people to get out of the way, and I'm like, that's so crazy. People are like, the pros are zipping through here going 35 miles an hour, and people were just, barely, got pickles in their hand, got the juice. I'm like, guys, like, a little heads up would have been nice, but it was pretty wild event. And super great for those Jason and Sophia that put it on. I linked up with them and chatted with them. They're super great. So, but yeah, dude, seems like we kind of have like a similar thread of like events. I would love to do more ultra events. I'm already signed up for the Appalachian Journey with my buddy Logan. That's in Floyd, Virginia. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Tons of times, yeah. I've thought about going. It's just never worked out. But like I've been watching that event for a while now. Yeah, that's the kind of event I like going to. Like we were just talking about like there's like two sides of gravel. Like there's your mega productions, and then there's the kind of like more mom and pop. And like I'm a little fatigued by the mega productions personally.
Yeah.
It's what you just said is kind of part of that too. It's like I don't know how I feel about like Lifetime Grand Prix right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think it's a positive thing for the sport, but I also kind of think they should remove it from the sport at the same time. Like Mid-South is doing the right thing. Did you hear that they're going to have the pro race just be the pro race, and then the amateur race is? That is a brilliant solution to the problem. I think that you get to watch it. I think they could even flip-flop it. Although no, that would be hard for people who are getting off work. So it works. I love that idea. Just like, let's completely remove the, like, let's get rid of the illusion. Like remove the actual crowds from the pro race. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to be combined. And I think a lot of the people participating would love, like if they weren't participating, they'd be watching it on YouTube anyway. And so I love that idea. And I hope that more events kind of take notes from that, because we are at a point where it's like a professional sport. And I think we should just act like it, like at this point.
Yeah, it's its own sector. I mean, you got people that are getting like drafted into the Lifetime Grand Prix now, and it's like there's only a set list that get into it, and there's wild cards. It's like, and they're all taken off at once. Everyone, there's different times. Obviously, they start at 7:30, and then amateurs start at like 8:30. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Mid-South's got something going on, and that's actually one I'm driving down to with a buddy of mine. I'm trying to get a gaggle of us to get an Airbnb to just have a rad time. But yeah, I'm excited.
Event, like it's the one mega gravel event that like I always would say yes to going to. I don't know if I would participate in it, but like, so my take on this is if Mega Mid-South was the same weekend, I would just do that. That would be like my jam. I kind of wish it was the same weekend. I think they should just combine those, but the vibe of that event is my favorite. The town is awesome. And like I was kind of talking about the endless ocean at Gravel Worlds. The terrain and scenery of Mid-South is I'm not gonna like say it's better, but it's definitely a little bit more legendary in my eyes. Like the red dirt, it's kind of the classic gravel event in my head, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like even more than Unbound. I know Unbound's the big one, but like I think Mid-South's the true American gravel, like crown jewel event.
That's
so you're gonna have fun. It's like it's like the best, man. It's so good out there. What's it called? How do you feel about Lifetime clamping down on the participant field?
What do you mean?
I don't understand why they don't just why don't we have 100 people? Like, what's the problem?
Oh, for like the
Like,
pros to get in or whatever.
like why are they? I don't understand why they're like being so stingy about it. Like, why? Like, what is the issue? It doesn't really make sense to me. Actually, it seems like the opposite of like what they'd want. Like, I feel like more participation would grow it.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I honestly couldn't tell you an answer. I don't know if it's like the way they divvy up but that doesn't make sense because like even if they have to divvy up the winnings, that's only for those who like podium. So I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know honestly.
it's a little like I'm a nobody in the realm of like high end gravel racing, and like my opinion is not gonna matter. But like from an outsider and a spectator, I guess a fan, like why not have 100 people that are allowed to do it? Like, what is the harm in that? Like, it doesn't make sense because like I mean, like Dylan is. Did you see the list of people?
Yeah,
It's a lot of
Dylan didn't make it. Yeah.
like, but like, what does that do? Like, what is productive about that? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, how is it productive to kick Dylan Johnson out of the Grand Prix? That isn't marketing. That's a negative marketing. Um, it's a negative from like Dylan because now like we've clamped down on the opportunity for like racers in the US. It seems counterproductive to me that to have Dylan Johnson racing in the amateur race. Like, what is that? Is that what they're gonna do? I don't know. Maybe they still will
Yeah.
like, are they gonna let like people like Trey sign up for the pro race? I don't know if that's what they're gonna do or not. They don't know either. Trey was talking to me about it this morning because he obviously didn't get in, but he was like, well, I don't even know if they're gonna let me do the race. And Lifetime won't tell him because they don't know either. And he's like, well, like I need to know because he has to sign up for Unbound and Sea Otter like now. But like imagine like Dylan Johnson and Drew Dillman and Chase Work in the Unbound amateur race. Cause that's like, is that what's gonna happen? I don't know. I hope not, because I don't think
Yeah.
that's actually the sport.
Yeah, I mean, so from posts I've seen and communications I've had with other pros, it seems as though like they're wanting to. This is just me talking. I'm obviously not on the inside here, but I think they're wanting to create an atmosphere of 6 wild cards, and then there'll be chase the wild card if you didn't get in, type thing, and I'm like, I don't know if that's the sport. I don't know if it's like, I didn't get in, so therefore I'm gonna work extra hard to try to get to this wild card spot to then just to race with my crew I raced with the last 5 years. You know what I mean?
Or like the
Yeah.
same dudes you're racing with at any other race that's just not a Lifetime race. It's
Yeah,
so
you
weird.
line up with everyone else at every other race, but then you go to Lifetime and it's like, oh, I'm actually not racing with you guys today. So
It-
yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird.
I just thought I just wanted to throw that out there since we were talking about like big gravel races because that was on my mind today. So like there's two guys local to me, and Dillman's kind of local, but
Yeah,
like Trey,
where's Dillman at?
he lives like outside of Louisville, so it's about an hour south of me.
Okay. I
Yeah, he
met,
pops.
funny story with Dillman. He might see this and get a laugh out of it. I didn't. I was an idiot, going into the first race of the year, and it was at Appalachian Journey. I saw him and met him. He was racing with his partner, and we
Oh
we
yeah, what's
were
that kid's name? That kid's cool. I've never met him in person, but I've
dude,
chatted.
I forget his name. He's got like long
Shout out
curly
to
hair.
shout out to that guy. That guy.
Yeah,
I like his social media.
he's a workhorse. That guy.
Yeah.
I rode a plane with him and I forget his name. I rode on a plane to Gravel Worlds with them. So
Okay.
but anyway, shout out to him. But Dillman, me and my buddy were racing and we had matching Right for Hope jerseys because we were just like kind of piloting the gravel team for this year. And my partner is Logan Miller. He is a wicked descender. I'm pretty strong climbing. Like my cadence is a lot tighter than his, and so he stays at a decent cadence, but I'm always like passing. And then when it comes to descents, he's always passing me. And in Dillman's YouTube of the race, he made a comment of us like doing that, like just like carouseling each other. And he's like, "You guys are teammates or something." And I'm like, I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, how am I supposed to draft this guy on a downhill? And how's he supposed to get right on my wheel when we have different gearing for the climbs, you know? But
I've learned riding with Trey. These guys are these like the real pro guys. Like they are truly on another level. They don't mess around. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a little alien, like how far that they've taken it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was riding. So the note I was gonna say is I was riding next to Dillman and his teammate, and I just said something stupid. I looked at him and had his mustache, and I was like, "Hey man, what's up?" And he chattered, and I was like, "Hey, you kind of look like a guy that listens to Joe Rogan." And I was just like being stupid, and then I was like, "Yo, man, you believe in aliens?" It was just like so stupid, but every time I've seen him at races, I've seen him at Dust Bowl and Gravel Worlds, and I've always like made it a point to go say hi and just kind of redeem myself because I was like such an idiot the first time I met him, but it was funny. Just like
No,
because I didn't know who he was to start. I had no idea.
oh, you're just messing with them. Drew
Yeah.
deserves it. Don't worry about it, man. No, Drew's the man. Because he talks the most crap about anybody, but he does it in such a great way that like I like he's I like his attitude about stuff because
Yeah.
he keeps it real.
Yeah,
And he's just like that in person too. He's just like a genuine guy. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
him
find
and
this.
Chase are great. Oh, you're fine. You're trying to track him.
I'm gonna
Track him
freaking
down.
track him down. I'm gonna figure him out because like what is
Dude.
this? I feel so bad
Yeah.
that I interact with so many people and like you can't remember everyone's name. It's just too
Oh
hard.
no, it's yeah.
Job Hutchinson. That's definitely his name.
But yeah, dude. Yeah, so I founded Ride for Hope in 2020 because of the shutdown and everything happened like kind of like I mean, I bet you were in also a limbo because it sounds like you were in transition and then you got to the bike shop and then you became an owner of the bike shop all in the same year. Well, I got laid off and then I was like in a sense I was construction. I was a operations manager for a high-end landscape company, and it was a smaller outfit, so they laid me off, and then I just collected unemployment for a minute, and then just kind of was like, I started my own business, and then also was like, hey, I want to like ride my bike across Ohio with my friends and do it over 4 days. Like I wasn't an extreme athlete. I mean, I was riding a rickety bike, but started the Ride for Hope, which was an original, just an event of just homies bike packing, raising support for mental health and suicide prevention. Because my friend worked at the downtown Columbus headquarters of Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation, and they work with the state and local governments throughout all of Ohio to bring resources to people's doorsteps when insurances are dropping people and all this different stuff. And they fight for policies and different legislation to get passed so that people can get access to care. And so I was like, dude, dope. Under resourced, mental health, that's an issue. People are in their house. Like I'm struggling. Like I'm a huge people person. So I was like down for the cause and like down to like go on an adventure. And now obviously fast forward to 5 years, we're a full-fledged like nonprofit hosting 7 to 8 events a year. We do a lot of collaboration because obviously kind of like in discussion with you, reinventing the wheel, it's silly. Just partner, collaborate. Like we're all doing the same dance, singing the same song. And it's like, dude, I'm just holding a sign that says your mental health is your health. That's kind of like what I live by. It's like, dude, you ride bikes, I ride bikes. let's be friends, but also like, just so you know, I will care about you and talk and ask you questions and challenge you to be better, because like life's hard. And no, it my thought and like motto in a sense for life ever since I like went through my depressive season when I was younger in my teens and drug abuse and stuff. Now on the back end of it, it's like, no good sailor was made on a flat sea. May that be true for me, but like I don't speak tragedy over anybody, and I don't wish them to go through hardship on purpose. But I think there's something to be said about like built resilience and built tenacity, and so that's why I wanted to like expand the Ride for Hope beyond the event, because I believe there's a voice there that in the cycling community, like we are crazy, to the, like for me looking at you to do your event that you just did, that's ludicrous. To think you would ride 80 hours on a bike for fun and just say it's like, dude, that was great. It's like
Yeah.
that's lunacy, so yeah, man. I mean, I kind of just wanted to create this as an avenue, as a vehicle to bring about conversations of how are people doing, and if you're not doing well, that's totally fine, because like at the end of the day, like everyone's got their own battles, everyone's got their own baggage, and everyone's got also their own lessons coming through that stuff. And so yeah, man, I guess speaking off of that, I mean that's a lot all in one, and like how I started and kind of where we're at now. And obviously the focus is just to bring about like I just recently shared a post that was about Men's Mental Health month this November, and just giving like basic stats. And it's just heart-wrenching to know that like it's still it's in the top 10 leading causes of death in America alone, not just state by state, but in America alone. But it's the most preventable, like statistically, the most preventable cause of death. So whether that be by pharmaceuticals or like counseling or like just community or like physical fitness, changing, like rewiring the mind through like a little bit of exercise or diet, it's the most preventable. Um, so like with that in mind, I'm just like, dude, let's get the word out. Like let's connect with people. Let's meet people that I've never really met in person, and let's have a discussion. So that's kind of the basis of what this passion project is of Beyond the Pedal, and kind of bring an insider view of who you are, as because Bicycle Station's sick, but also you are sick. You're a rad dude. And I think a lot of people need to know that, need to know like Jesse's passion for bikes, but also his passion for life. And so, yeah, I don't know if you like wanted to share a little bit of your story, or if you've had like kind of run-ins with mental health in the past, or kind of like tips or any insights that you would love to share to like listeners or viewers.
It's like it's ever changing.
Yeah.
There's different eras of it, right? Like whenever I was in college, so I went to college like not too far from you. I went to Denison University,
Yeah.
which is probably only 30 minutes from your house, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
And I was a collegiate swimmer, like I mentioned earlier. I'd come off of whenever I was in high school, we just had this like moment where like the team like really clicked. Like we were just really good, and we like worked so hard, and like ended up getting to like we took like a 7-man swimming squad, and we almost won the state title in Indiana, which is Indiana's a swimming state, so it's a kind of a big deal. But it was way back in the day. But the reason I'm telling this story is just to kind of give context for like what ended up happening. So I went to Denison coming off of that high of like, you know, like we didn't win the title, but like we were a championship team, you know, like it's the same vibe. Like we knew we did something good, even though we didn't succeed. We all walked away individuals, state champions. Like I was state champion. All of us on the team ended up getting at least a state championship ring because we won every single relay. And we are all getting recruited to go to colleges. My buddy swam at Cal Berkeley. 2 of them swam at IU. 1 of them swam at Utah. 1 of them had an offer at Purdue, but decided he wanted to do just like engineering, which is cool. And then I was the slowest of everybody, but I was still like decent enough to go swim in college. And I ended up at Denison because they had just come off back-to-back Division III national titles. And when I got there, I was expecting the same excellence that I had while I was in high school. What I found was different. The culture was awful. It was like a big party culture. And as a freshman in college, like you don't really understand what's going on. And you end up just like I was around all these guys that had just won back-to-back national titles. And I was like, oh, like this is just what we do. And we partied a lot. And like over the course of the next 4 years, like we still succeeded. We lost 3 years in a row, and then my senior year we ended up winning. So we won the national title my senior year.
Wow.
But it was not like what I just said doesn't like really reflect what was actually going on. Over the course of that time, like, you know how everybody in college gets like prescribed like a ton of like amphetamine, like whether it be like Vyvanse or Adderall or like whatever it is, you know, like there's a bunch of these different I'm extremely dyslexic, so like I don't like spell very well or read very well, which is why in my videos like I don't pronounce things correctly and I can't read. Like it's legitimately because like I can't. But like the doctors there prescribed me a bunch of Vyvanse, and I mean that's like totally common. Like that, I mean, like that, it's a very under talked about thing. And just so everyone's clear, prescription Adderall and prescription Vyvanse is like 2 degrees separated from methamphetamine. Like there is prescription. Yeah. So you like a doctor could prescribe you methamphetamine from a pill. It's just that doesn't make sense when you compare it to Vyvanse or Adderall. And so I had Vyvanse and a very high dosage of it. And like I don't really even understand like what the parameter for like getting these doses are. I'm at the time I was pretty huge. I was like I was a sprinter, so I weighed like 210 and I was pretty jacked. I was wearing like extra large shirts. I've lost a lot of weight since, just in terms of like I don't lift anymore. And I wonder if that had something to do with it. But like I did a bunch of these like tests, and then they prescribed me 80 milligrams of Vyvanse.
Wow.
And that's a very important number. For people who don't know, they don't actually make a pill that says 80 milligrams of Vyvanse. What that meant is that I got 60 pills a month that were 40 milligrams each, which is bad. And I'm going to explain why. I'm sure you can tell why, but
Oh yeah.
yeah. Do I think that that drug helped me with schoolwork? Yeah, but like, I'm not sure I needed help with schoolwork. I don't know. I'm sober now, and like, look at how much better I'm doing. It's the end of the story is where I'm at now. But like, I was mediocre swimming in college. I never made like the travel team. I never understood why. All the guys who were faster than me, like a lot of them partied harder than I did.
Right.
Eventually, like guys got into like cocaine is definitely a thing in college. I mean, like that's not uncommon at like college parties, but like I never really got into that because I was worried about my heart with the Vyvanse. Like combining both those things is like not good. Which is I'm glad I at least had the process to do that. But like we were seriously like I don't know if drug addicts is the right word, but like we were taking the drugs and then on top of that drinking like scary amounts of beer and liquor, and like we had a dry season that was like 2 months out of the year. So like how the rules worked were you couldn't drink 24 hours before practice during season. So that meant and I believe that that's actually a mistake nowadays, but the thought process is that meant that you couldn't drink until Saturday, because then there was no practice on Sunday, and then everybody was fresher on Monday. But what I think that what the consequence of that is that everybody crammed all of their drinking into Saturday, and it started directly after practice ended. So like we would finish practice and immediately start drinking until like 3 a.m. And we used a lot of prescription drugs, like mostly just like I said, Adderall and Vyvanse to like kind of fuel that partying. I made it through senior year. During my senior year, I had a pretty serious back injury. I still do have 3 slip discs in my back, but like I injured myself somehow doing training. I never stopped trying to be good. I just wasn't successful at it. And I wish I had the forethought to realize that back then and just kind of stop doing it. But I was really loyal and like headstrong, and I was like, no, I still think I can like do well. And I made it to my senior year, and I got a back injury, and I couldn't swim anymore. I started to do the bike trainer. And that for some reason that just like loosened my back up. And so then I got one of my dad's like mountain bikes, and I started riding. Instead of doing swim practice, I would go ride my bike like after the stretching. And like, I mean, the only reason I was still like on the team was just because I did everything right. Like I like was on the team for 4 years straight, like full collegiate swimming career. And the team won a national title that year. But like looking at it, it's like, why did we win a national title? Like, how could we have done that acting the way we did? And we kind of just got away with it. Like, it's weird it's a moment in my life. Like a lot of people have like really fond memories of college. Like, I don't know if I do nowadays. And got out of college for some reason, I don't know why I made this decision. I think I was feeling like something bad was going to happen. For some reason, I freaking just stopped taking the pills. And I don't know why I did that, but I finished my last class and I never went back to the doctor and never refilled the prescription, and I just completely stopped.
Cold
I don't know
turkey.
why. Cold turkey, yeah. And I don't know why. I had taken that stuff every day for 4 years.
Wow.
And I don't remember a lot of it. Like, honestly, like I just don't. It's crazy to like, I think about it a lot. Like, I mean, it's a moment like where I still reflect on that time in my life. And like, it's also weird because it's like a privileged thing, right? Like, I had a lot of privilege in that, like doing all those drugs, and like they were prescription drugs. But like, I don't really view it like, I don't view prescription drugs like the way we were taking them. Like, that wasn't prescription drugs. That was,
Right. Yeah, you were misusing them. Yeah.
yeah. And everybody around me was too. And it was just like a huge toxic culture I was involved in. And like, thinking about it, like, I don't necessarily blame myself for all of it. Like, I mean, I blame myself for a lot of it, but like, that was a complete top to bottom failure of like the school, the like the program, the culture. And like, maybe I just didn't want to like be like that anymore. I don't like hate any of my teammates or anything like that, but I definitely don't like talk to them anymore. And they don't talk to me often either, which I'm conflicted on. Like, I had there's good memories with those guys. We were friends and we are all in it together, but like, I definitely feel this kind of void in my life, from that era. I got out of college and, I stopped the drugs, but I definitely did not stop the drinking. Continued to be a very heavy drinker. And I think this is common. I think once people, because I've watched it happen now. I'm 31 now, so like I've seen different eras of kids graduating college and then like how they kind of grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
My wife is 2 years younger than me, and so she was a senior whenever we started dating, and I kind of went through it again. I went to all the parties with her and like all the drinking, and like I said, I stopped doing the drugs, but not the drinking. And me and Chase had kind of built our relationship around that kind of culture, right? We ended up obviously getting married, but as we used to go to bike races, and one of the main goals was to just like go to like the cool breweries. Like, we were almost more interested in like going to the breweries than we were like actually doing the bike event.
Wow. Yeah.
We used to like, we would drink a lot the night before. Like, we would go to the brewery, like wherever, you know how bike races seem to always have packet pickup at a brewery. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a bike race. And I'd sit there and I'd drink 6 beers the night before the event, like every single time. Like,
Oh my gosh.
it's crazy. And like, I'm not judging anybody who's doing that, but like, I was not in a good spot, and I hadn't been in a good spot, consumption wise, for a long time. Like, I went from being a star athlete at my high school to just nothing. And I was thrown a lifeline, and I'll get to that in a second, but like, that whole conversation I talked about where like I was working for my dad, it's like, well, I was out partying with the guys after I'd go ride, I'd go out and party, and then I'd wake up and go do the construction job. And I ended up owning this business.
Right.
And then guess what happens? So this is a very intensive job when it comes to networking and being social, especially a local small town business. What ended up happening is I found myself going to the bar basically every night. And it was like, oh, so and so is going to the whatever tonight. Like, let's go talk to them. And then I'd get invited to another one the next day. And then the next day I get invited to another one. And it was this cycle of just like nonstop. And it was honestly getting to the point where it was a little bit out of control. I basically had a moment where my mom and my business partner, Dave, were just like, this needs to end. Like they really like pushed me on it. Like they challenged me on it. And it wasn't like there was like, you know, it wasn't like a consequence thing. It was more like a, like, you need to like step up and do better thing.
Yeah.
And it reminded
me you could do better. Yeah.
Yeah, no. And I started this story off with telling you about my high school swimming career and how excellent we were at everything. And it reminded me of that, where like, and I was always craving that. I was always craving that like culture and that like vibe of what we had. And it kind of reminded me of that time in my life where like we needed to cut the shit out and like be excellent at what we were doing. And it pulled me out of it. I've been sober for 2.5 years now. I do have an occasional weed gummy, but I'm talking like maybe once every 2 months. Like it's very, very, very occasional. Because even that, like, that's another side of the story, is I try to let myself have a break, because now I've gone too far the other direction. And that's where I'm like, I need to let myself just be a normal human sometimes.
Yeah.
But like that moment is where the business shifted. I stopped drinking, and you know what? Like, no problems. I never had a single thought in my head of drinking again. Like wow. I was completely committed to it. I was like, we're just done. And you know, maybe in 50 years, like, you know, I'm not like counting the days. I'm not like that. I don't actually know how long it's. If you ask my mom, she would tell you how long it's been, but like I actually don't know. Because it was never actually like important to me. That's never been important to me. It's what really has been important to me is what happens next. It's not about what happened in the past. And I feel like I don't want to crap on anybody, but like I feel like worrying about those days is just like worrying about like things that are done. Like everything I just told you about is like, again, it's a privileged thing. Like nothing bad actually ever happened to me, you know?
Right.
Like nothing actually bad happened to me. I had some embarrassing moments, whatever. Nothing actually serious happened. It could have happened. It could have happened, but I was putting myself at risk. Yeah, I was putting myself at risk and putting myself in risky situations. But like for me, it was just like full commitment to being excellent at what I was doing. And what I was doing was running this business, and totally reinvented myself. It's been challenging. Me and I mentioned this earlier, and the reason I mentioned it is like me and Chase have kind of had to reinvent our relationship, or you know, like get to know each other a little bit again. Chase is Chase never like was really on the same spectrum as I was, but like she doesn't drink anymore. I mean, maybe she drinks once a year or twice a year, you know, but like nothing like we used to. Like our entire relationship is built on going to the bar and drinking together.
Yeah, and yeah, having connections with people.
And that has been something that's ongoing. Like she said it as a joke, so I'm using it, but like she was like, I feel like we're dating again. And I was like, yeah, you know, that's kind of fair. We have a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, but like it's not wrong. We're having to learn how to communicate with each other better, and I think we're doing good at it. It where I am now, like the YouTube channel and all of that stuff, like that's post sober. Actually, I take that back. There's
like
a video on
videos.
Channel. There's a video on the channel, and I haven't taken it down because I don't know why, but I'm like wasted in the video, like just totally wasted in the video. Yeah. I think it was like a bar tape video, or maybe we were building a bike for my dad, but I was just drunk in the video, and maybe I'll take it down. But like, yeah, if you go way back, but like the YouTube channel was like a thing, and it was like there was like this actual like legitimate business. Like we had this opportunity, and like I had so much responsibility, like I had to rise to the occasion or completely fold, you know, like I know I just said a lot, but like do you want to talk about any of that? Like that's like the real history of like how I got where I'm at. Yeah,
no, that's huge, man. I mean, I think you hit the nail right on the nose. Just like you had to show up for yourself, you know.
Yeah, and my business partner and the people in the community and like my wife and my employees, like there's a lot of people that like really depend on me, and I needed to be good because I was a liability for them.
Oh yeah, you were steering the ship. I mean, you're the guy. You're the rudder. You're the sails at times too. You know, you're kind of moving this whole thing, and you know, it's beautiful to see where it's at now, and like super grateful that you shared all that. I mean, that's like tough stuff, man. I mean, my parents have been sober for a long time, but they were alcoholics. You know, so like I grew up with alcoholic parents, and like I was raised at AA meetings, dude. Like my parents would go and they would put me in the little room that smelled like cigarettes, and like they had little toys. Dude, I think I remember the youngest I was probably 3 or 4, and then I like went there until I was teens. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, and there'd be times where I would like get off to school, and they would go to the A meetings after work, and I would be at home with my brother, and we'd cook dinner together, and we'd have spaghetti every single night, you know, because that's all we knew how to make, because mom and dad were home because there were the A meetings. So, dude, I feel you, bro. That's super tough, and like alcohol is one of those things where I actually 2 months ago, roughly 2 months ago, I chose to be sober as well, just because it just didn't make sense. Like I went from beer and then to bourbon, and then I like been traveling so much of these races, training. And I'm like, I just don't have time, but also like I'm not going, like where I go right now isn't the bar to socialize. I'm gonna go ride at 6 a.m. and tomorrow, and then I got to go to bed early because I got to get up to ride, or you know, I'm going to this work event, so I want to make sure I'm not stumbling over my words. I'm also dyslexic like you. I was put in like a I don't even know what it was, like a supportive learning class from like 3rd grade to 5th grade.
Yeah,
I thought it was disabled, to be honest. I was like, I'm ruined.
The only reason I didn't get into those is because my mom's a school teacher, and she knew I was dyslexic, and she was like, no, he just needs this and that, and she helped me a lot with it. Yeah,
that's huge. But yeah, man, no, I appreciate you sharing that. That's a real struggle. I mean, some people are still like out there struggling with that, that imbalance of regularity or just like cutting cold turkey. Because some people are like afraid, they're afraid like, oh, I'll lose my friends, I'll lose my community. And it's like, honestly, when I've started speaking up about things I want to quit, I kind of do these self audits, every month where I'm like the ins and outs of my life. And the people I share things with that I'm cutting out, they're like so supportive. They're like, and also honestly, the ones who don't really support it, I'm not to be rude, it's just you won't be around very much longer in my life. It's like,
Well, that's what I was about to say. Like, so the whole, it's a stereotype, right? Like that, like, the whole notion of like, oh, well, like I won't have friends. Like my friends aren't like, what did you say? You said it better than me. Like oh, I'm worried I won't be able to hang out with my friends or something like that.
yeah,
Well, let me be honest with you. That's the truth. You won't. And that's just what you have to understand.
yeah,
It can't be about them. It's about you and
right,
the people that are important to you. Whereas yeah, honestly, dude, I even talked about it earlier. It's like, I don't really talk to my college friends, you know, like
Mhm.
I'm friendly with them, but like, I'm not going to the yearly meetup. I'm not,
Yeah,
they don't even really invite me anymore. The
yeah,
people that I was drinking with here locally, like, yeah, I don't see you. Like, I mean, that's the honest truth of it. And I think accepting that is actually important. Like
yeah,
not lying to yourself about it. It's like, no, you're making a change, and like it's going to be a journey of like uncertainty.
yeah,
And if you're really committed to doing it, like you have to really commit to doing it. You can't like half-ass it. I used to
yeah,
try to go I used to try to go and like sit at the bar. And like I told you, I was never actually interested in drinking, but like I did try to like be involved with the community. I was like, oh, I'll just go and I'll have a Sprite. And like
right,
I wasn't ever worried about like getting a beer, but like, you know what I did is I freaking stopped doing that because I was like, this is a waste of time. What am I doing here? I'd rather be working actually or doing something productive
yeah,
or for myself. And I've had to I I think I've started to kind of get a grip on that. Just like in general, like if it's not really working for me, like I don't really feel like I need to stress myself out over it.
right,
And maybe that's helpful, maybe it's not, but
yeah. Well, no, I mean, I agree with that 100%. I mean, there's always things. It's like we're creatures of habit, and we're creatures of like trying to find the next thing to do, to keep our mind. Because, like you said, I mean, the biking is the job, and it's fun, but it's also like there's other parts of you that are tinkering that are trying to satisfy another part of your brain or whatever, your creativity. So no, that like, I mean, that happens to me too. I mean, I'm in 20 different directions all at once. My girlfriend Megan, she gets just like the brunt of it, my ADHD just like going all out all the time. Don't stop. I mean, most of the time, our weekends are full of everything. So um but no, I love your point. You were talking about how you exited the community of the bar community from drinking, and then you entered this other realm of cards. And I think that is hard for people to understand because, like you were saying, it's yeah, like for us out on the other side, like we're done. I mean, done as in like we are choosing to better ourselves. And if people are for that, come with us, whatever. But I think people are afraid of that initial, like, my whole community is built around after work happy hour,
yeah,
or weekend binging and watching TV. Like when people talk to me and they're telling me about shows, I honestly, I don't have time to sit down and watch TV. Like
I don't
I
watch
don't
any of it.
yeah, I don't sit down and like throw my feet up and like, oh, like if it's wintertime, I'm cooking, usually cooking meals or doing whatever, or on the bike trainer or prepping for bed or prepping for the next day. I'm like writing down notes for things to do tomorrow and like reading, and then I'm out. But anyways, I guess what would be your encouragement to people that are on that they're in that seat, they're at the bar or they're with friends and they're stuck in this place where like my whole community is surrounded around this. What would you say to them to like help them understand that the community that they will find would be better, could be better, you know?
I think that it's a situation where you won't know until you try. And I think that's so stupidly simple, but like being worried about leaving behind that crowd, like these people aren't actually going to care.
Yeah, right.
Like they're not going to worry about it. Like I go to things where my friends are drinking, like whatever, like it's like, it's never been the end of the world. And for me, it was actually the start of something much greater. And I think that the opportunity to, like, I wouldn't view it as like a negative. I would view it as like an opportunity. It's like, well, like you're leaving this community behind, quote unquote, but like you have the opportunity to become something greater than that. You can, like, I tried the card thing, like it wasn't for me, but like honestly, like I'm pretty content doing what I'm doing, like building the community around my store and like my social media stuff. And like I've kind of just poured myself into that and like so much more fulfilled by like what I've been able to accomplish compared to like before. Like I could have never done what I'm doing now in that era. Although I did have the idea in that era, I couldn't execute on it. Like I'm sure the people that are in those situations like have aspirations of something, you know?
Yeah.
And like executing on it is going to require you to take a shot at it. Like you can't not. And if you don't want to, that's fine. But like if you do, like you have to make that sacrifice, like, and be certain about it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like that. And that's why I was so blunt with what I said. It's like, no, you have to leave it behind. I think it's better to leave it behind. And I think that's scary. But the word I like to use is like certainty, is like I was just certain about it. And once you become certain about it, like you're kind of set free. Like you can make your own decisions and set your own goals and make your own path. Like I want to tie this back into cycling a little bit. Like I think a lot of people are kind of using cycling to achieve that goal in a weird way. So like I'm the drug dealer in the situation, first off.
Thank you.
So like, my perspective's different. I actually grapple with like, dude, I don't ride my bike a lot. I just don't. I usually do like 3 or 4 hours on the weekend. I mean, I'm not even kidding. You can check my Strava. It's like I haven't ridden that much this year. I've raced a lot. I've done a lot of racing, but I haven't done a lot of racing. Yeah, that'd be so funny.
What are your thoughts on the no arrow bars?
Yeah, no, that's what we need. That would be good content, man. And then you could like, then they like because content is just like attention, like grabbing, like, and then you could like get the actual message out. Like that'd be super cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping to do some more fun things this coming year. I mean, I got some ideas cooking. I plan to do like all my rides I do around town is to have a pocket full of stickers that say "You matter" and "Ride for Hope" below it, and then just hand them to people in their window, like knock on their window and be like, "Hey, just thought of you. Here's a sticker. drive safe, you know, just like passing out like random little knickknacks. I feel like would be fun, but yeah,
What
man,
is
I just love to love people, man. I think that's just like what it comes down to. But what were you gonna say?
what is so like if this is going to be cross posted, what is the actual like? Is this like a thing that like is like donatable, or is this like just like a platform? Like what? Like can you explain it not only to me but maybe somebody watching, especially since this is the first episode?
Yeah, episode 1. Here's the breakdown. Yeah, so my thought is just to create obviously like just authentic conversations surrounding around like, you know, people I meet in industry, their story, and then also like tips or understanding like mental health struggles that we all share, and then like how to get through those and how we both have gotten through those. And I haven't really thought of the donation link per se, because the thing that's tough that becomes a challenge is I can give money to like I can open up a link tonight and people can, you know, say I post this December, I can put a link in the bio that goes to like the, you know, Suicide Prevention of America organization. I personally don't like that because it's such a big organization. And so like what we've done with Right for Hope, we've partnered with independent nonprofits that are focused on work in the state of Ohio that I personally know. And we are picking specific things for them to do. Like, for instance, like a lot of our donations go towards, we partner with Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation and the Ohio State University's Suicide Prevention Program, and 2 funnels. One is for OSPF to give it to, it's called their First Step Fund. And basically the First Step Fund is grant funds for families that apply or that can get access to when there's a sudden loss. You know, say there's a youth of their family that passes from suicide and they didn't have funds for funeral or all this different stuff saved up. And so now they're getting hit, you know, or insurances are now stopping paying for biohazard cleanup for lethal means of suicide. So that means, you know, blood and all that stuff. So there's the money for that we're like giving to Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation for that. And then for OSU, we are giving them funds as a funnel to help build out their second phase of education when it comes to mental health conversations with students and faculty and staff. So it's called Reach 2.0, and it's aimed towards the follow-up conversation of, hey, you know, the initial unpacking of your struggle, and then kind of like diagnosing and then getting them to, because I think the thing we talked about is the journey to get to that self-awareness. Like you got people around you tell you, hey, Jesse, let's get your life right. And then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
shoot, you know, it's
Yeah,
kind
no,
of like that.
Yeah.
It's like the follow-up. It's like it's like, okay, we get you to the point of saying, hey, like we've shouted, hey, like, let's get you help. And then the 2.0 is like, hey, these people are trained and are certified through potential medical means of like, you know, psychologists and different stuff to help reinforce it, but basically to help them to get to where we both got, you know, to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, enough's enough. I'm going to turn the page of this rough chapter, you know, and move on. So those are our silos right now for the Ohio. We haven't branched out. I am currently working on creating a Colorado chapter with some folks out there, because obviously it's a huge mecca, big pull for cyclists, and there's a huge need. We did a group ride out there in July after SBT, and there was like 70 some people that showed up to just a Saturday group ride that was hosted by me and another race team, and I got to share for like 10 minutes Right for Hope and like the heart and the vision. So we're potentially going to be launching our first ever event out there this summer. with Cassiopeia, Think Gravel's Friday, and Lola. We're trying to like collaborate with other group rides and just say, hey, we're all unified under this umbrella of mental health. Let's have fun. Let's ride bikes. Let's have a meal together. Let's talk, you know? So, but yeah, man, to be honest, I haven't really thought beyond just kind of getting the voice out there and just like kind of getting hype around like talking about hard things. But eventually I plan to launch merch that will help fund like Right for Hope's expansion and operational costs to different states or just as a big conglomerate. It's just we're kind of like Ohio's like the launch pad, and we haven't really breached the launch pad yet because we've just became a nonprofit last year, but we've been doing this for 5 years. So the building blocks are slowly coming. But I just started a partnership with Ocean and Sand. Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
So I did like a collection with them that we're going to be launching to like kind of sell and promote as like, hey, this is our merch. If you buy a shirt, it's super dope, but also you're supporting like Right for Hope and like what we stand for and how we exist and operate. So
I'm having an idea, and you don't have to like do anything I say. All right. So one thing I just was, we talked about this earlier. The barrier to entry in cycling is not necessarily like having a bike or like, I mean, yeah, it's part of it, but like, I actually think that's kind of bullshit. But like the barrier to entry to cycling is like, who do you ride with? Where do you ride? What do you do? Like, what is that? Like, and what if you funneled people into some kind of like Discord or, I mean, I hate Facebook groups, but you get what I'm saying. It's like a Discord or a Facebook group or something. And there could be different channels for different like states. And then people like, cause we have like, I mean, there's like group rides here and they never get really big because the group rides are locked into this group chat that like, you kind of have to like know somebody. Right. But if Ride for Hope was funneling people into communities and like the community exists like in partnership with like you named 3 Colorado things. It's like, well, what if they just like, you know, like posted their community things on that too? Like, and then they could have a chat, like people could talk. And like, I mean, I've thought about like doing a Discord for like just people who like our channel. But then you'd actually have a function of like, okay, we are having this conversation and like maybe this person just needs a new community and like a new start. And maybe you could give them that opportunity of just like connecting people together like that. And promoting it like through this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like things I want to implement. Like this year, I'm doing full tilt like email, subscribed email chain out to our list. I'm downloading a new CRM for our operating. I'm trying.
Are you using like Monday or which one are you using?
I haven't selected one yet, but I'm like between 3 right now. I listened to like a nonprofit podcast and they were talking about a couple that I was just kind of like tinkering. And then Monday was an option, but
we use Monday.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I think it's decent. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we're not huge, so we're not massive, and we could grow. That's the thing too. Is like I feel like we could grow pretty fast because it's like for us, it's not a huge lift. Like it's not a huge ask. Like we're not asking.
It doesn't cost.
A lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost money to be a part of our organization or our group. Like it's all volunteer based, and then like most of our events are fairly cheap. Like our 4-day bikepacking trip with SAG van, hotels, and all of our campsites, in some pseudo transport, it's like $175. So that's not super bad for like a full functioning event where we're hauling all the food, we're hauling we're not tents, but like camp chairs, and we have like everything in the van, like bike, tools, stand, our tent, and everything like that. But then
I have
huh? What did you say?
how is it that cheap?
We just razor thin.
Increase the price and get more money to do what you need to do with it.
Well, no, that's the thing is like we do what we want to do and we like cap it. So we cap it at like we're doing 30 this next year. We did 20 some this year. We're capping 30 next year. And then I want to host a free gravel fondo in May. Like show up. I'm working with a state park here to do like a 40-mile loop, and hey, show up. It's fully funded by a title sponsor that I'm working on securing, and then like Scratch is, giving fully discounted, nutrition. I got hydration sponsor. Kenda's going to be there. Bike shop's going to be there. Yeah, and then Riper Hope, I'm going to be running the whole thing. So I think it's just like cool to like do stuff. Like you said, the barrier to entry is like non-existent, and it's a suggested donation. So like the park, I was talking to the lady today. She was like, "Oh, usually like we have you pay for land permits to go through people's lands," and I was like, "Well, we're doing like gravel roads and stuff and connectors, and we're also not charging. Like it's just if people want to give us $100, they can, but they don't have to, type thing." So
That makes more sense to me. It's like a donate if you can like model.
Yeah, and like I know like I network pretty well because I'm in construction and real estate. So like
Yeah, I can tell you've got major connections just like talking in this conversation. Yeah.
But I know that like I can find a title sponsor. I'm talking like 3 of them right now to like that want to get on board and stuff. But it's just like I see, it's kind of like I see something that can be done. Why isn't it being done? And so I'm just doing it. Because I don't want to create another, and my buddy Logan puts me in check a lot. He's like one of the homies. Shout out to Logan Miller. But he's kind of like me and you, where it's like these big mega events, they're fun, but this like grassroots smaller events, they rock. Like they're super full tilt, like party banjos. I would love to like hire a band or like have someone play a banjo at like a big climb on our event, just ripping banjo, ripping drums or whatever, like just going full tilt like that. That's something you wouldn't get at like a mega race,
Margie Gessick has the bagpipe guy.
Oh, really?
And it's super sick. So like you get it's like 5 miles into the race, and it's like this crazy moment where it's like this really gnarly, like scary, like rock roll thing. Mm-hmm. And right at the top before you go down it, they have a dude playing bagpipes every year. It's like legendary.
That's epic. Yeah, man. So right now, I guess people watching, we don't really have specific funnel for donations and stuff, but be on the lookout for the merch drop. And then we have our own kits we make that all the proceeds go to. Radco makes our custom kits, and they're out of Northern Kentucky, and all the proceeds go towards our nonprofit operations expenses to just keep it fueling. And then all the donations from our events, like we're going to Cora, the Cincinnati Expo trail, and I think it's Bike and Trail Expo. Like all the donations we get from there, merch sold, is going to go straight towards like Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation, OSU, and stuff like that. So, but I do need to figure out a way, like if this definitely will grow, I can see I need to figure out a way to like get the reach to other people's resources, you know, in their local communities. So I need to figure that out.
Yeah, that's where my idea was birthed from, was just like organizing all of this massive like the following gets a little crazy, and like I'm not even probably the right person because I'm still kind of grappling with it myself. But like, yeah, you do have to kind of like my CRM is mostly, obviously it's mostly for sales leads. And so like like I have like Instagram, Facebook, um the actual physical phone, email, and then we just introduced a live chat feature on my website. And then there's also like just if somebody walked in off the street. And so we have like all these sales avenues that people can talk to us. And it's like, oh, it might have been Trey's Instagram, it might have been Chase's Instagram, it might have been mine, it might have been the shop. So we have like 5 or 6 Instagram accounts that we're managing. And what ends up happening is like the first step is that person's name gets plugged into Monday. And we have just like a sales board, and it's like, how do they communicate with us? What do they want? And like, what do we need to do? And then like, that's how we've been able to kind of keep track of it. Cause it's like, it's really just the 3 of us doing it. And it's like crazy, like how efficient the CRM makes it. But yeah, it's a skill set. It's hard at first, and you just kind of get used to it. Like you just get like, it gets like automatic. You're just like you kind of become a robot. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
I'm no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I think that you might end up in a situation where like you have a lot of people very, very suddenly, especially partnering with the people that you're partnering with, because they already have audiences that are primed to like be into this kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I bit off more than I can chew. I got a pretty wicked lineup. I got a local Cat 1 pro female on for December, and then Hannah Shell wants to hop on next week, and then Alexi Vermeulen wants to hop on in January, and then I'm trying to get Jeremiah Bishop on here as well. So there's some cool cats that I think, and then also like there's a couple community builders that are in Columbus. Like I don't know if you heard of Scatter Joy. Ever heard of them?
No, but
they're pretty big, like mental health, like in the creative space voice. They do a lot for like creating cool merch, hosting events. They have a coffee shop downtown in Columbus, but they have like a 80,000 following on Instagram, and they like do awesome like events in and around Columbus all the time for mental health and suicide prevention. But yeah, I have him on. He's going to be on at some point. He just had his newborn, so we're trying to figure out schedule. But yeah, I think I got a sick Rolodex of folks like yourself to just talk with and just hear their stories. So I think it's gonna go pretty well, I believe.
that's why I was concerned about how much money that thing cost. Just so you know.
What do you mean?
You're gonna need a budget.
A
Like
budget
you're gonna need cash flow and a budget to like maintain this stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, I have
Yeah.
like a budget, like an operations budget.
Yeah, because you're gonna end up with, like, I bet you end up with an employee or two.
No, yeah, that's the goal. So the goal is, I mean, in my eyes, if I'm being honest, I tell Megan this all the time. I would love to do this full time, like doing what I'm doing now, riding my bike, going to these events, you know, doing these grassroots events. Like if I could get paid doing that and sharing hope with people and like sharing stories, like that's it. I don't need to do construction anymore. I've been doing it for 11 years, you know? And so I mean, that's the hope, is it would make me quit my job, you know? So I do it all on the side now, and it's such a joy and I love it, but I'm
Yeah.
kind of like at the point where I'm like, I either need to hire somebody or I need to quit my job and do this.
No, and that's why I was trying to like, that's why that was my entire intention, was saying like, you need to increase the price on that thing just so that you can pay yourself to do it. Cause like, yeah, it gets like, you're going to like have this crunch of like doing 2 jobs, but one of them is paying you like you have to swing the pendulum one direction far enough that you can pay yourself. That was what my advice was. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's so tough because it's like even with that, it's like it wouldn't be enough. Like it's a small event. It's not, I don't know. I don't even know if it would get above 30 because the trail is small. I mean, it's a bike path.
No,
That.
yeah, that makes sense.
So like we don't want to make it huge. And I think the Howard Erie organization that helps run it and maintain it, I think I would probably get some emails, people would be complaining like, because there's sometimes it's uncomfortable. Like we train everyone. We tell them like the night before when we check in, we like, hey, here's the signals. Like if you haven't ridden in a group, you haven't drafted, you haven't done this, like here's what we do. And then this is what we do when there's someone like coming up or passing or whatever, like everyone's kind of dialed. But like the bigger you get, the more people that they kind of get lost in the weeds and they can do whatever they want because there's more people. And that's where we get the email complaints probably, And so I'm just trying to be at peace with everyone, but at the same time, like with this gravel fondo, like I would love that to be like a huge event. I would love 500 people to show up to that eventually down the road if it means that we get to share hope and like our story, and like let them know like, hey, it's okay. Like not every day is sunshine and rainbows, my dude,
Yeah.
So
I'm really curious about how this evolves because it's just I love and this could be a whole nother show that we could maybe hop on, is like maybe whenever you get to a certain point, like
circle back.
Well, because I love, obviously, like I love the nuts and bolts of like trying to solve these basically effectively business problems that you're gonna encounter with this. You know what I mean? Like you're starting from a pretty good spot. And there's like so many directions that you can like go in. And I love talking about it. That's a lot of what I do at this job is like, well, like, how should we do this? Like, we've never done this before. Like, how should we do this? Like, what is the right way to do this? You don't know. And so it's like, that's why I'm so excited about just talking to you about it. Cause I'm just like, whoa, well, how does this work? Like, how do you keep track of this? Like, what is that? Like, oh, this is going to be a problem in this scenario. Like, it's just fun to talk to somebody else who's like thinking about those kind of challenges. Yeah.
Right.
It's not very different. I'm selling a product. You're communicating a message. It's weirdly like the same. We kind of are like crossing a lot of the same like paths in the way that we are operating. Yeah.
It's I think we were built this way, man. I think we're built to figure it out and like just shoot for the stars. Megan, she always, whenever she's thinking through, she's a very rational person and she is very smart. She remembers things from 3 weeks ago. I forget. But anyways, like she'll look at me and she's like, well, how are you gonna do that? How are we gonna do that? I'm like, we'll figure it out. Like,
yeah, you just gotta
what other option do we have? There's no, like, from my perspective, like, onward. Like we gotta do this. When it came down to the Big Sugar, when they changed the route last minute, like, and she couldn't come to the aid station, I should have packed my hydration, but I didn't. But she's like, she texted me while I was on the bike. She's like, what are you gonna do? And I was like, I'm just gonna keep riding. Like, I don't know. I literally pedaled until my leg locked up my hamstring locked up, and I fell off the bike on one of the last climbs of the event because I couldn't pedal anymore.
Dude, you would love ultra racing.
Yeah,
Like,
oh yeah. I want to do like a long dog.
You would because that's what the event is, and that's why I've enjoyed them. So like there's a lot less structure. Like you just kind of like I just did the 600 the 500 mile thing. Like day one I slept on the back of a porch that was like just a random person that like it was like kind of event sponsored, but it was still like just somebody's back porch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't bring enough clothes and I froze to death. And so all of a sudden my sleeping accommodations are not equipped to do this event. And I still have like 300 miles left. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And so I figured out that like, you know what I have to do is just stay in motels because it's too cold and I don't have enough gear to sleep outside.
Right.
And so now it's like, okay, how do I get to a hotel in West Virginia? And also I'm riding there. So like, how much time do I have to get there? And it's like, oh, my wife calls and is like, hey, I need to get a room. They're like, well, just show up. And I'm like, well, no, I'm right. Like he's riding his bike there. He's like, oh yeah, just tell him to show up. We'll be there. What time is he going to get there? Oh, we don't know. And so now I'm just like, well, I need to get there before these people go to sleep. And if I can't get there before these people go to sleep, I'm not going to be able to sleep inside. And so then I'm like trying to race to get there on time. And I made it on time. Get this freaking hotel. And then guess what happens? The same thing happens again the next night. The next motel will not let me book the room. And they're like, if he's not there by 9 p.m., like we're closed. Like you can't get in.
Oh my.
So like there's just so many like crazy things like that happen like the whole day. Yeah, it's just total chaos. But that's what I enjoy it is because it's kind of like it's like a mini escape room. Like I've never done an escape room. I'm just like comparing it. But like, yeah, there's like I like that kind of stuff.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I think you're into it too.
Yeah, dude. It's it just feels good to like, tax the brain a little bit. I'm not super into like the, these people doing like cold, like ice baths and like this routine, but like, I like to wake up early. I like to meditate. I like to pray and like do these certain things to like get myself dialed because, when me and you are working at our capacity, like, mental fatigue is like real, and like some people just show up to their job, do their job, and they're like, oh, I'm tired, and they veg and watch a show. Like when probably me and you were like steaming throughout the day, like we're like, at least me, like I'm sitting there and I'm just like, dude, I need a shot of like vitamin D or like is water or like something, and because like I'm cooked, like my brain, I can't think right now about anything else. And I mean, people tell me all the time, like when I'm working a lot or like hyper focused on stuff, like sometimes when they try to grab my attention, I kind of like do the goldfish eyes, and I start going to la la land because I just lose kind of like my train of thought, and because I've just been fatigued the whole day. So, but it's a good tax, it's a good tax to pay for building dreams. So
yeah, I always like I start to understand like old dudes who like just can't retire. Like I understand.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
You gotta put your hand on the plow.